I've been to a lot of quirky places and met some pretty unusual people over the last 5 years riding Louisiana's back roads. But as I headed down this lonely stretch of Highway 154 in rural Bienville Parish, I already knew this was going to be one of my strangest assignments. I was looking for the place where legendary Depression-era bandits Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow died in a hail of gunfire on the morning of May 23, 1934. As I approached the ambush site, I'm not sure what I was expecting, so in effect, I couldn't be disappointed.
People have chipped away at it. You can't even see the year there.
The concrete marker has definitely seen better days. Souvenir hunters have chipped away at it, and hero worshippers have added their own tributes to the notorious outlaws who died here. From time to time, people stop and take pictures. But on this day, my bike seemed to be attracting as much attention as the marker. Certainly there had to be more to the Bonnie and Clyde story than just this eroding concrete marker. And the answer to that question was awaiting me just a few miles back up the highway in the town of Gibsland. According to the story, just before the ambush, Bonnie and Clyde stopped to pick up a couple of sandwiches at Ma Canfield's Cafe. Today, the cafe is long gone, but in its place is the Bonnie and Clyde Ambush Museum. Well, here we are at the Bonnie and Clyde Museum. I want to go in here and find the real story.
I don't know what you're selling, darling, but we ain't buying.
I'm not selling anything.
Okay.
This is, I wanted to hear the real story about Bonnie and Clyde, and I hear you're the man that knows it all.
Here, for the admission price of about $7, you can learn everything you ever wanted to know about the two outlaws and that fateful day, including a few things you probably didn't want to know, or see for that matter. Museum spokesman L.J. Boots Hinton is a walking, talking Bonnie and Clyde encyclopedia. Not really surprising, since his father Ted Hinton was one of the 6 lawmen who took part in the 1934 ambush. The museum features tons of rare photos and documents, as well as numerous artifacts, like samples of some of Clyde's favorite weapons. If you want even more Bonnie and Clyde after touring the Ambush Museum, all you have to do is walk next door, where you'll find the authentic Bonnie and Clyde Museum. This is the official museum of the annual Bonnie and Clyde Festival. Yes, there's a festival held in Gibsland each year on the weekend nearest the May 23rd anniversary. It features a mock bank robbery and a lot of other fun, but according to Catherine Boddy, one of the festival's founders, it does not glorify the notorious bandits.
This is history. That's what this museum is about, is history, because it happened here.
And if you thought 2 Bonnie and Clyde museums in a town of just 1,000 people was overkill, think again. Just head down U.S. Highway 80, another 10 miles or so to the town of Arcadia. There's yet another Bonnie and Clyde museum in the old train station here, but it's what takes place just south of town once a month that's really worth noting. This is Bonnie and Clyde Trade Days, billed as the state's largest open-air flea market. Once a month, this sun-baked campground attracts hundreds, sometimes literally thousands, of bargain hunters and vendors.
Well, this flea market is now about to be 20 years old. It was established and named after the crooks and criminals, Bonnie and Clyde, the notorious couple from the 30s Depression era, because they were shot just south of Gibsland, a small town just west of here, in 1934. and their life more or less ended here in Arcadia because their bodies were brought over here to the funeral home. So that's why they call this the end of the Bonnie and Clyde saga. And so thus they named the trade days after Bonnie and Clyde.
Besides picking up a bargain or two, you can take a ride in the Texas Shark, a 1960s era amphicar. Why these things never took off in South Louisiana, I just don't know. Or you can meet Bonnie and Clyde, the camp's official mascots. That's Clyde. Bonnie was a little camera shy, and every Labor Day weekend the campground is the site of a 3-day motorcycle event, called rather appropriately the Ambush Run.
They claim they told them to halt, but they didn't tell Bonnie and Clyde to halt. They just blown them away. They killed a dozen people.
If you want to learn a little history and get a lesson in capitalism at the same time, you might want to check out Bienville Parish. Bonnie and Clyde may have met their end here, but the people of Gibsland and Arcadia have found a way to turn that brief moment in history into a never-ending tourist attraction. For LA Writer, I'm TW, writing Louisiana.